Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Mom Street USA. I am your host, Jackie, and on today's episode, we are talking about Disney spooky season. So, we are talking all about this year, 2026, what is new, and kind of just an overview a little bit about the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And then at the end of today's episode, I am going to chat a little bit about what some of my favorite things are about Halloween time at Walt Disney World, specifically Magic Kingdom. That's what we're going to really focus on today because unfortunately, Disney doesn't do a really great job at Disney World of kind of like spreading the love for the decor and some of the theming. Now they are getting better. Last year we did see some expansion of not only Halloween but also Christmas, where it wasn't just focused on really just Main Street. So hoping to see that again more in the coming year for all of the holidays that are coming up. But we're really going to primarily focus on Magic Kingdom today because that is where most of the spooky season at Disney World takes place. So, next week officially starts Halloween season at Walt Disney World, which is absolutely crazy because the very first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party is literally a week from the day that I'm recording this. So, August 7th is the very first party for this year. So, it's time we got to talk about it, right? So, the main draw of this time of year at Walt Disney World is, of course, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So, this is a special ticketed event that is run several nights a week at Magic Kingdom starting August 7th, all the way until Halloween, October 31st, is the final party for this year of 2026. The cost ranges anywhere from $119 per ticket to $229, depending on the night and how close you are to Halloween. The earlier you are in the season, typically the cheaper it is for you to be able to go. Those dates that are closer to Halloween, and in fact, Halloween has already sold out for this year, but those are going to be closer to that $229 range that you see. The parties are generally every Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, and then once we get to like the end of September, they do add Thursdays in there as well. So this is, like I said, a special ticketed event. You do have to have a specific ticket for Mickey's Not So Scary in order to be able to go. This event is great for all ages. And we've done episodes on this event in the past. Last summer, we did a ton of episodes on spooky season that Duck and Jess joined us for. We've highlighted this event several times on Mom Street USA. And really, other than the things we're going to talk about today, the overall event itself hasn't really changed much. And primarily what you're going to see today is the biggest changes are the food offerings. So what you can expect as far as entertainment and trick or treating and those types of things are all pretty much the same. So if you want like a detailed overview of the party, go to one of those episodes because today we're just focused on what is new for 2026. And then, of course, some of my favorites here at the end. So, new for this year, I kind of broke this down into the different categories that you see across the parks just in general. So, we're going to talk rides, we're going to talk characters, we're going to talk entertainment, and we are going to talk food as like our primary categories, and then a little bit about merch at the end also. So, as far as rides go, just a quick note that every year, Not So Scary Halloween Party has themed ride overlays for the Teacups, Space Mountain, and Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. They also tend to have live performers in the graveyard right outside of Haunted Mansion. So, this year, there are no new ride overlays, but those ones are expected to be around as they have been in the past. And also worth noting that this year is exciting because Big Thunder Mountain is going to be open again. So it's not going to have any overlay or anything like that, but it's just open again and something that you can enjoy at your party for Not So Scary. All right, so let's talk characters now. There are a few new character interactions that we are expecting to see this year. This first one has me so excited. And this is one of the reasons that I really would love to go to Not So Scary Halloween Party this year. Don't have any plans at this moment, but I would love to go. Is there is a brand new masquerade with Stitch. So this is not a true character meet and greet from what I understand, but it is an experience that you can meet Stitch, Lilo, and Angel. Angel is never around. So, that's so exciting. But you can join Stitch and his pals Lilo and Angel at the Rocket Tower Plaza stage in Tomorrowland. So this stage is the one that is kind of is situated in front of the bathrooms next to Space Mountain, kind of between Space Mountain and Carousel of Progress. It's the iconic stage where they always have at these events some sort of dance party or experience or DJ or something like that for the parties, right? So that is where they are going to be. And in this experience, Stitch is hosting an ever changing masquerade. So, after getting his paws on Lilo's costume trunk, every accessory he tries on sparks a theme swap. So, it's going to keep the party playfully unpredictable all night long. So, you're going to see lots of different costume changes and prop changes from Lilo, Stitch, and Angel over at this experience. I literally would pay the entire ticket cost just to be able to go and do that. I have met Angel one time at a Moonlight Magic event that I was very fortunate to get invited to by my good friend Becca, and it was so much fun. I was in heaven, but getting to do a dance party with Stitch and Angel, it was absolutely amazing. So that is gonna be so much fun and a super cool, new thing for this year. Another thing that is new for character-based things this year is a new Spirited Swashbucklers experience. So, this is something that I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about, in that over in Adventureland, they're going to see Captain Jack Sparrow has dropped anchor to lead a swashbuckling series of pirate antics. So, it's like a whole interactive experience with Captain Jack Sparrow over in Adventureland. So, I'm really fascinated to see what this is like. Part of me wonders if they're going to take, like, the Pirates League that's already over there, like, that experience that you can do, and just kind of add Jack Sparrow into it. So that's gonna be really interesting as reports come out in the following weeks with what that really looks like, but that sounds super fun, and I love these new, like, character experiences. Yes, they're not true character meet and greets, but I don't know, as a kid, I feel like it's a lot more fun to get to interact and dance with or run around Adventureland with your favorite characters rather than just getting to talk to them for 30 seconds and snap a photo. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority in that, but I feel like that experience is going to be so much more fun for kids that are going to the party. So that's super cool. One other thing that I do just want to mention is there were some rumors, and these are only rumors. Nothing of this nature has been, like, officially confirmed by Disney, but there were a ton of rumors that were circulating when Disney first announced the dates and everything back for Not So Scary, that Disney World was going to be getting more villains for their Halloween season this year. So Disneyland out in California famously has their treat trail during their Oogie Boogie Bash, which is their equivalent to Not So Scary. Different event, but it's their Halloween event. And they have a ton of villains on these big stages that you walk by and interact with and things like that. So Disneyland is famous for having tons of villains just like available during these parties. Disney World historically has not had a ton of villains available. They're in the stage show, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but they're not just like out and available. There were rumors that some of the little promo things that they put out online were going to be including more villains just like wandering through the party. So I am so excited to see what happens on Friday night and to see if there are, in fact, more villains out or if Disney was just using the villains to try to get people to come. Who knows, right? I'm sure there was some marketing uh thought process behind that, but that is a rumor that has yet to be confirmed. So we'll have to see what happens with that. So those are kind of your character interaction, new things for 2026. Let's talk briefly about entertainment, and then we're going to jump into food. And there's a ton of new food, so that'll be what we spend quite a bit of time kind of detailing in here just shortly. So, in the past years with entertainment, there has been a Destination Descend dance party that has happened inside of Cosmic Ray Starlight Cafe. So this is a Descendants themed dance party that you can go and attend. For those of you that don't know, Descendants is a movie franchise on the Disney Channel that highlights the children of all of the well-known characters in the Disney universe, right? The most recent one just came out a few weeks ago, and it highlighted Red, who is the Queen of Hearts' daughter, and Chloe, who is Cinderella's daughter, and several other characters, new characters to that one also, which I love the Descendants franchise. But I do just want to mention this because I anticipate that this year's party will have new songs and dances for the newest movie. So if you've got a kiddo that is a massive Descendants fan and they love, or maybe they just are finding the Descendants franchise and they love the newest movie that literally just came out, this dance party is all completely inspired by the Descendants movie, so I would anticipate that they are going to have some from the newest movie, Wicked Wonderland, happening at this party. So definitely want to check that out if that's something that interests your group. So our next category that we're going to talk about is food, and there is quite a lot of new food that is coming to Not So Scary Halloween Party this year. So what I use to kind of go through this is the Disney Parks blog. So if you are ever looking for like the best news and the most reliable information about what is happening over at Disney, this is the best place to look. So they have released their foodie guide for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. We're going to talk about what is new. Like I said, the menus are one of the biggest things that do change year to year, but there are a lot of familiar favorites that stay around. So it really just depends on the year as far as what is new, what is not. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is over at Casey's Corner, and that is this Headless Horseman's treat that they are going to have. And it is a pumpkin pie tart topped with whipped cheesecake, spiced caramel panna cotta, candied pecans, and marshmallow buttercream flames around the outside. And it looks so cute. I love the look of that. I think that's so fun and kind of iconic for the party. I just absolutely love that. So super cute. It is a party exclusive, so you can only get it at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So the next thing we're going to talk about now is the Plaza Restaurant. There is this devilish crispy chicken sandwich, which is a ghoulish spiced mayo, red cabbage, and Fresno peppers on a black Kaiser roll served with French fries. And this you can actually get during the day and at the party. So this is not a party exclusive, but it is a Halloween exclusive item that you can get over at the Plaza Restaurant that I think sounds interesting. I'm not a cabbage person, so I don't know. That would probably like not be a good choice for me, right? If we continue down here, they also have this Phantom Pecan Caramel Cheesecake. This looks really good. It is layers of New York and caramel cheesecake with dulce de leche, chocolate ganache, and pecans on a chocolate crust. And this also is a party and day guest option that you can get. So it is available for both. So if you have a dining reservation over at the Plaza Restaurant for either the day during normal hours or during the party, you can get both of these items over there. So now I will also mention that a couple of the places that we're going to talk about here, the Plaza Restaurant being one of them, is a location that you are going to want to get a reservation for. But just be really careful because if you are not planning to do the party, you have to keep an eye on what time your reservation is because it cannot be after regular park hours are over or they will not let you in. So if you do not have a party ticket and it is after the like 7 o'clock time, I believe that the party starts, just be warned of that and just make sure you're paying attention to that when you're doing your advanced dining reservations. So the Plaza restaurant is one of those that you want to make sure, and I'll mention those as we go through also. Next, moving down our list here on Disney Parks blog is the lunching pad has a brand new cake pop that is Hades themed. And I think the shape of this is so much fun. It is a Mexican hot chocolate cake with popping candies dipped in chocolate with a blue marshmallow fire tip on the top. So that is a party exclusive item. So you can only get that if you are there during the party. And the lunching pad is over in Tomorrowland. So I think that is a super fun little themed little treat. I'm a little concerned about the size because it looks very small, and I have a feeling that Disney may overcharge for it, but we'll see. We'll have to wait and find out what they are asking for that, but I think it is a super cute, super fun themed little cake pop option for anyone who's visiting the party. Moving ourselves down now to Cosmic Rays. Cosmic Rays in Tomorrowland. The first item that they have that is new this year is the Fangtastic Garlic Butter Burger. So it is Angus beef with boursin and brie fondue, crispy onions and garlic pickles on a toasted black bun served with french fries. So definitely a good option. I feel like Cosmic Rays gets a lot of flack for their regular menu, but I always feel like them and Pinocchio Village House always do really, really well during the parties and like their different options that they have. So we'll see how this one stacks up to anything else that they've had. But I think it looks good. It is a party only exclusive, so you do have to wait until the party hours start in order to be able to get that from Cosmic Race. The next item I feel like is going to be iconic for this season, and that is this Queen of Hearts tart that they are offering this year. So this is actually going to be able to be found at 2 different locations depending on when you're looking for it. So, if you are there during the day, you can find this over at Cheshire Cafe. So that is the little window cafe that is right down the walkway from the teacups. So, if you're looking for that during the day, that's where you're going to find it. Now, if you are looking for it during the party, you will not be able to find it at Cheshire Cafe. You're going to have to go over to Storybook Treats and Fantasyland, which is around the corner from Pooh Bear, kind of. So that is where you're going to want to look for that there. But either place you can find it is a sour cherry pie filling in this tart. Which I think looks so cutely decorated with the little Queen of Hearts card on the front with all that frosting. Looks super yummy. I love this. And just a note that every year Disney Parks blog now has started for all of these different events. They release like a kid-friendly menu that are like their top choices for kids that are visiting. And this item is on that list this year. So I think it's going to be a really nice pairing between the super sweet frosting with the sour cherry. I think it's going to go really, really well together. Let's move now to Be Our Guest is one of those locations, like I mentioned earlier, that you are going to need to get a reservation for if you do plan to visit during the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. So make sure that you are looking at that whenever your eligibility window opens for your dining. But over at Be Our Guest, they have a couple new things that you can try if you do snag a reservation. The first being this beef short rib. And the description is it is slowly cooked in a Cabernet Sauvignon with figs, butternut squash puree, and roasted fall vegetables. It is a party exclusive, so you can only try that if you are visiting Be Our Guest during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. If you're not, sorry, it's not going to be on the menu for you. The other option that they have there during the party is this drink, which is an apple cider margarita, which I thought sounded really interesting. So it is Terramana Blanco tequila, Grand Marnier liqueur, and apple cider. So that sounds like a really interesting, kind of fun fall flavor to have with your dinner at Be Our Guest. Again, it is party exclusive. You can only find it during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So if those two things, along with the other stuff that they have there, right? They have another drink, and then they have this. They make the Forbidden Rose from the gray stuff also during the party timing as well. If those sound like items that you would like to try, then you're gonna need to snag yourself a reservation over at Be Our Guest. And again, just be aware that during the party weeks, you have to just be really careful about those dining reservations to make sure that you know whether or not you are going to be able to get in. Because again, if it's after that party time, you have to have a party ticket in order to do dining at those locations. I think I'm going to say that a couple more times tonight just to make sure everybody really knows, because that's one of the hardest things about dining is those little random details that pop up, right? And that you can't always predict because you don't always know what you don't know, right? So, another location where you are going to need to have a reservation, absolutely 100% for sure, is Cinderella's Royal Table. So, Cinderella's Royal Table is the restaurant in which you eat inside of the castle. And like I said, definitely need a reservation for that one. I think that's the last one that you're going to need a reservation for, but we'll see as we go down through our list here. But their new item for this year is the chicken cauldron, is what they're calling it. And if you look at the photo, you can see it's served in a cute little dish that looks that way. But it is served with black truffle sauce, root vegetables, and a potato pumpkin puree with your chicken. So that sounds really interesting. Again, lots of pumpkin-y, apple-y flavors, root vegetables we've seen a couple times on the menu. So definitely some good new options that are a little bit savory also. Disney historically sends all of their sweet stuff to Magic Kingdom and a ton of their savory stuff to Disneyland during these party events. So over the past like 2 years, it's been nice to see Magic Kingdom get some more savory options and not just all sweet treats that are themed for the event. So this is another really great savory option if you want to put your money towards Cinderella's Royal Table, because do remember that's one of those really costly advanced dining reservations you can get, and you do have to pay for that one when you book it. So keep that in mind also. Moving on now to something totally different, which is Pinocchio Village House. You definitely do not need a reservation for this one. This is a quick service location located in the back of Fantasyland. And over here, they have two new items on their list for the Halloween season. Again, Cosmic Rays, Pinocchio Village House. I tend to really like their offerings that they have at the parties. So this first one is a sweet option. It is the Cruella cookie sandwich. Come on. The theming for this is so stinking cute with the Dalmatian spots, and I love it. It's adorable. But it is chocolate cookies that are filled with raspberry ganache and then dipped in white chocolate with sprinkles on the top. And it is a party exclusive. I think it looks really good. The cookies, as long as they're soft, I think this one could knock it out of the park. But we'll have to see how that works out because, it's a little hit or miss with some of that stuff at Disney. You tend to have a better chance, and I think that's why Cosmic Rays and Pinocchio Village House do better during the parties because stuff doesn't sit around as often because you're not making it all day long. You're only making it for the party, and then you're only offering it for that evening. So it's a little quicker turnaround from the time it's being made to the time it's being consumed. So that would be my guess as far as that goes, but I think that's a really great option to try if you are someone that is visiting doing the party this year. And then the other new offering that they have over there is this chicken sandwich, and it is a Fra Diavolo, I believe is how you say that. And I apologize if I'm pronouncing any of this wrong. That is not my strong suit. But it is a Fra Diavolo chicken sandwich, which is a fried chicken breast with Fra Diavolo sauce, cheese, basil pesto, and arugula on a ciabatta bun served with French fries. And again, that is a party exclusive item. So you can only order that during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Now, I will mention before we jump to our next location while I'm thinking about it is these items that you find at these quick service locations or any other location that is a location that you can do mobile order on, you are going to be able to mobile order for those locations. However, keep in mind that there is an hour window between the end of park hours and the beginning of party hours where mobile ordering will be turned off. So, for example, let's use the first night of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party as our little guide here. So, if I look on the hours on either my Disney Experience, the Disney website, wherever you're looking for them, I can see that on the 7th, which is the first party night, Magic Kingdom technically closes at 6 p.m. The party technically starts at 7 p.m. So from 6 p.m. until 7 p.m., you will not be able to mobile order. They turn that off. They flip their system over. They don't want day guests to have access to the party stuff. So just keep that in mind and don't panic if you don't see it. It's not going to show up as available until 7 o'clock when the party actually starts. And then at that point in time, you can hit submit and get your mobile order in. But from that window from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, which is really unfortunate timing because that's like prime dinner time, right? So, depending on what you're trying to eat, you need to just plan accordingly because you're likely, if you're planning to eat dinner at the party, you're likely going to need to plan on like a 7 or 7:30 dinner time because it's going to take that long for you to be able to mobile order or even just walk in and get them, right? Now, some of these locations you can get in line to order your party food prior to 7 p.m., but I wouldn't count on it. So just plan your food accordingly. Grab a snack before you go to the party, or if you're in the parks all day, make sure you're eating an afternoon snack so that way you are not getting hangry before you're able to get access to this delicious food that you want to have from the party. So just something to keep in mind. Make sure you don't get stuck without dinner during yours or your kiddos' hangry window. So plan accordingly for that. The next new item that we have over at Sleepy Hollow is the Doom Buggy dumplings. So, if you don't know, the Doom Buggy is the name of the ride vehicle over at the Haunted Mansion. So, this is named for that. And these are chicken dumplings with red miso gochujang sauce, furikake, and chili threads. So, that is quite a mouthful. Apologies if I said that wrong. It is a party exclusive over at Sleepy Hollow. So if you want that, you're going to have to grab it during the party for that. The other thing that they are going to have this year is a take on their chicken and waffles that is new. And that is going to be this graveyard hot chicken and waffle. So this is a Nashville hot chicken strip with blue cornmeal waffle and pickled ranch. And that is also a party exclusive. So a fun kind of spooky take on their normal chicken and waffles that you can get over at Sleepy Hollow. And again, a party exclusive for that. And then the final item over here at Sleepy Hollow is this Hatbox Ghost Pop. So we've seen this over at Columbia Harbor House that normally has like a Haunted Mansion themed cake pop like this. But this year they have a Hatbox Ghost one. So this is chocolate crumbs layered with chocolate mousse and dulce de leche topped with blue crispy pearls and a chocolate piece that's got a cute little Hatbox Ghost on there. This looks so cute. I don't know, people were hit or miss about the Madame Leota Haunted Mansion one that, like I said, I think is at Columbia Harbor House, before. So I don't know about this one. I think it's adorable. It looks so, so cute, but I don't know whether or not this is one that I would try personally. Now I'm just thinking about did yeah, they don't have it at Columbia Harbor House this year, do they? Because I just scrolled up and the only thing they're showing is that s'mores cup. So maybe they don't have it. Maybe that's why. Maybe they swapped over and now they're doing this Hatbox Ghost version instead. We'll have to wait and see when the full menus drop on Friday for that. But I think it's super cute. Don't know whether or not it would be worth your money for that little treat there, but still super super cute. Let's talk about now Pecos Bill. This is another location that has gotten some negative press in the past, but I do always like their party, offerings, and their new menu is really, really good. So, over at Pecos Bill, the first option that we have here is their cursed cowboy fries. So that is sweet potato fries topped with barbecue burnt ends, chipotle queso, pico de gallo, and crispy jalapenos. So this sounds really good. Like, I'm not a spicy person, but I think, aside from the jalapenos, I don't hate that offering. I like that it's on sweet potato fries. Personally, I like sweet potato fries better than regular French fries. But that sounds like a really good option. And then they also have a couple other new things over here. This one is the Frightful Black Bean Burger. And I think the thing that bothers me the most about this one is the bun is so purple. Like, we just saw the, blue cornmeal waffle over at Sleepy Hollow, and it looked a little more like, okay, this one is so purple in this photo, so I'm interested to see what it looks like in real life. Do the photos match what we actually get on the plate when we order these things? But the Frightful Black Bean Burger is topped with a jalapeno ranch slaw and jalapeno chips and served with French fries, and this is a plant-based burger. So keep that in mind if you're somebody that prefers to eat plant-based or needs to eat plant-based for whatever reason. This is a fun plant-based option that you can offer over at the over at Pecos Bill. So definitely a fun option. And the other thing that they have is this little cakes treat that they have that is a skullicious cake that is a chocolate cake with chocolate mousse and peanut butter buttercream with with chocolate popping candies on the top and a chocolate cookie crust. And it's got a huge probably white chocolate, I'm assuming, skull decoration on the top. I think that sounds a little bit like chocolate overload. I like that they have the peanut butter in there to kind of help with that, but that is going to be a very rich option, I have a feeling. So, uh, prepare accordingly for that if that sounds like something that you would like. All of these options over at Pecosville are all party exclusive. So this is one of those locations with that mobile ordering, like I was talking about earlier, where you just have to be really careful about what time you plan to mobile order so that you don't get locked out of the system during that swap over. So I think that is it for our long list of food items that are new, which, like I said, is quite a lot. And that is so typical of these parties that they always have a ton of food options that they try to rotate through. They keep a lot of the standard favorites, but they do like to rotate through and add some new stuff. I feel like this year's list of new stuff is a lot of really good options. They have some good savory options, they have some nice sweet options. So I'm interested to see some of the reviews that come back from some of the, YouTubers and content creators out there. Always take what they say with a grain of salt because everybody's opinions are different, but I'm interested to see kind of what people's take is of some of these food offerings for this year. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the merch. So every year there is new party merch and just new Halloween merch released by Disney, and this year obviously is no different. So we're going to talk about some of the just Halloween merch, and then we're going to talk about what is specific to Not So Scary Halloween Party. There's a ton this year, so I'm going to kind of fly through it, but all of the images that I'm showing you are directly from Disney and from Disney Parks blog. So if you see something or hear me say something that you're like, oh, that sounds super cute, then head over there to find what it is that you might be looking for. So The first thing that we're gonna look at here is this actually was posted back in April. So this is kind of like their sneak peek of all of the new things coming. So this is just like generic Halloween collection that they first came out with. So you can see we've got lots of cute little Disney themed. They've got like the pajama pants, they've got the sweatshirts, which I love me a good crew neck, and I love that this is, like, embroidered. How cute. The front of that has the little Mickey holding the pumpkin on it. They've also got this headless horseman themed sweatshirt that's like a hoodie as well as this like hockey style jersey. I love this one a lot. It's got the Mickey pumpkin head on the front, and then they're going to have a Disneyland and Disney World version, but this one is the Disney World version that's got the 71 and the Walt Disney World on the back. I think that is so cute. Oops. I think that one is so super cute. So I love that option. We've got new ears. Of course, there are always new ears. I like these ones this year because they are a different like mixture of all of the different characters together, right? So you've got the little pumpkin with the little Mickey ears on that has been, like, super popular the last 2 years. You've got a little owl, you've got a black cat, you've got Candy and a spider and Mickey and Minnie as pumpkin heads, like, just so many fun little options on this one, and then they've got a bat-themed headband as well with ears. It looks kinda plushy on this one. I think that one is a super fun option, and if you are somebody that likes the create your own headbands. I've got a couple of them. I think they're so much fun. This year, they came out with a Minnie and a Mickey pumpkin head option for your headband. And then that cute little bat with the little Mickey ears on is so cute. And those are like plushy with the Velcro on the bottom. Look at the hat. I think the hat is so much fun. It's got that Walt Disney World logo with like the candy corn ombre color and the spider webs on it as well. So much fun for both Disney World and Disneyland for that baseball hat option. Also, we've got cute little bat Mickey earrings that they've got, as well as the Mickey Mouse Halloween wreath earrings as well. Some other little jewelry options with mini ears and slap bracelets and a cute little tote that's got Happy Halloween on it. So a ton of really fun options. We've got some plushie options. They've got a Sally Slater plushie from the Haunted Mansion, which I love her. She's like my favorite stretching room character. And then they have a vampire Stitch plush this year as well, which I think is super fun. They always do a fun little Stitch plush, which I'm not mad about. So they also announced a bunch of stuff coming to Oogie Boogie, but that is Disneyland specific. So we're going to hop over that and get down now to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party merchandise. So these are the options for people that are attending the party. It is party exclusive merch. So you have to either know someone that is going to a party or go to a party yourself to get these different options. They have this crew neck that has the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I love that the back of it has like Oogie Boogie. It has some ghosty figures on it. It's got the hitchhiking ghosts. It's got the Sanderson sisters as well as Mickey and Minnie on that one. And then the other one is the t-shirt option that has the similar Mickey and Minnie with the castle. And it's got a cute little pocket on the front, which is super fun little detail on that. Then if we scroll down here, we've got the little baseball hat that's kind of like a distressed denim with the kind of a little spookier looking vampire Mickey. He's a little happier in the other merchandise that we just looked at, but they've got that. And then new this year is a bag charm that is exclusive. So this is the little plush Mickey vampire bag charm that you can get. I think he's adorable. I love the color options that they put on him. I think he is going to sell out immediately. So if you are at one of the first Halloween parties, definitely be sure to grab one as soon as the merchandise opens because I think he is going to absolutely sell out very quickly. They also have this cute little mug that's got Mickey on it, like Vampire Mickey, and a ornament that is the castle kind of looking all spooky like it does during the fireworks, and a cute little frame that has the similar artwork to what we saw on the t-shirt as well. So that's kind of that line. They also had some other Legos and Joffrey's coffee collection. They had, yes, Sally's flower pot with Legos. They had some all sorts of other fun little people that are like Maleficent and Hades, right? They always have so much fun merch that comes out. But the other collection that I want to highlight here is they just came out with a villains collection, and they also just came out with this, like, pink and white looking collection, that is similar, but not the same as what they did last year with that, like, viral ghost collection that they had that came out last year. So we're just gonna briefly look through some of this just because I think it's super fun. They've got some really great, things coming to Disney Store and Disney Parks. They've got these, football style jerseys. So they've got the Maleficent one, and then they also have a Headless Horseman one, which I love that they're doing so much for the Headless Horseman this year. I think that's a super fun character to include in all of their Halloween stuff that they've done. There's also a Villain's Spirit jersey that will be in this collection, as well as some of these different Disney always does, like, dress shop dresses, or they partner with, Ashley Eckstein's company and do different things for clothes in that line. I don't know if this one is Disney Parks or not, but it's a cute little, villains-themed dress. They also have these, bags that they're doing. They're kind of like a they're not plush, but they are like they look like carpet to me, and I don't mean that in any type of way other than they're just kind of fuzzy like carpet, but they've got some different bag options with, Maleficent and the Evil Queen on there. Lots of different mug options. I love this Maleficent mug with the dragon on one side and Maleficent on the other, and then this one is a really great color with the green flames on it as well. Super, super fun. Again, more, Headless Horseman you can see with this figurine that they've sold. Again, I don't feel like they've done much with the Headless Horseman in the past, so I love that that is a featured character this year. And then, the Vanessa doll, if you're a Little Mermaid fan and you like Ursula, this is her in her Vanessa form with the shell necklace on and everything. So like a little collectible style Barbie for that one as well. And then, of course, we've got our, what do they call it? The Cutie Ghost collection is coming back again this year. They've got some pink Minnie Mouse ears that I think they're supposed to give like pumpkin vibes. They just look like pastel pink little Minnie Mouse heads to me. They've got little coin purses and bags that go with them, as well as blankets and pajamas. I love the little mini ghost holding, what is that, coffee? Probably holding a pumpkin spice latte in the back there. Super fun with that little collection also. And then, of course, they have their standard Happy Halloween stuff, the matching PJ sets and family collections. They've got new plushies. We just saw the Stitch one, but they've also got, of course, their Mickey and Minnie that are themed for this year. And I love these little, you guys have seen me do videos and talk about these little, what do they call them? Urapoka-chan, little mini plush, the ones that are, like, super cute and tiny, but they've got a little Chip and Dale this year. I think they're so cute. I would love to have those little Chip and Dale ones. I hope they come to my Disney outlet if I can't make it down. And of course, they've got things like glow necklaces, trick or treat baskets, magic bands, more mugs and figurines. Again, there is no shortage of Halloween merch when it comes to this time of year at Disney. They also did release an entire new Haunted Mansion collection, which I think we talked briefly about when we were talking to Duck about other Halloween style stuff not that long ago in an episode, but they've got a whole set of Haunted Mansion ornaments. They've got a Werecat Lady limited edition doll. They've got all sorts of other fun stuff. So again, no shortage of merch when it comes to spooky season and all of that at Disney, and I apologize for just kind of flying through that quickly, but, if I didn't, we would be here for an entire hour just talking about the merch. So, I think that is kind of the overview of what is new for 2026 for spooky season and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. But let's talk about a few of my favorites before we kind of wrap up today's episode. A few things that I just want to mention that I love about the Halloween party. I have been twice to the Halloween party. I went in, let's see, 2015, and then I went again in 2022 with my kids. All four of us, my husband and I and my two kids went together. But a couple of my favorites from the parties is, first of all, I love the ride overlays. If you're someone that can tolerate Space Mountain, it is so much fun to do during the Halloween party because they turn all of the lights off. So it just makes it that much more unpredictable and thrilling, and I love that so much. And then the teacup overlay is also so much fun. They play fun themed music and they've got fun lighting underneath the canopy. Just a really, really fun, unique experience that you could have on either of those rides if you are someone that enjoys the rides. Um, you can't go wrong with any of the entertainment that they have over there for Not So Scary. I love the Boo to You parade. I think it is one of the best parades that Disney has ever offered. They make slight little changes to it year after year, but I love it so much. The soundtrack gets stuck in my head in the very best way, but I love the Boo to You parade. It is so much fun. And the fireworks there are so much fun. It is Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular Fireworks Show. It is hosted by Jack Skellington, and I won't say more than that if you haven't seen. I won't spoil it for you, but he does appear in a very fun way. But it's all completely themed. There's a great storyline that is told through the fireworks and the projections and the audio. I love it so much. It's exactly what I feel like a Disney fireworks show should be, in the way that it almost tells a story to the point where you can, like, visualize and see it in your head. I love that so much about the fireworks show there. And the other thing that I love is just there are so many fun characters. And that's not even just like the character meet and greets, right? There are unique characters in Boo to You. There are, like I said, live performers outside of the Haunted Mansion. There's the Cadaver Dans. They take the Dapper Dans and they spookify them for Mickey's Not So Scary, and they sing some different songs that you can experience, right? Just so many fun characters. And the characters do vary. In the past, though, you typically get to meet like Pooh and friends all together. If you're talking like regular standard character meet and greets, right? You get to meet Pooh and friends all together. There's no other time other than during these parties where you can meet Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, and Eeyore all at the same time. And they're all in their Halloween costumes. Ugh, I can't. It's just the best. This is one of the times also where you can find princesses and princes together at the same time, which is super, super fun. So you not only get to see princesses, which are normal, but their princes are with them. The seven dwarves have been out and available previously during this. They were not last year, and I don't know yet this year. We won't know all of the characters that are out for Not So Scary until that first party map comes out on Friday. So we're kind of guessing here based on historically what they've done in the past, but typically that's what we see. But either way, so many fun groups of characters, so many unique characters that you get to see at this event. That's one of my absolute favorite things. And the last thing that I will just mention that I love about Not So Scary are the costumes. So this is the one time of year where you are allowed to wear costumes to the park, right? Typically, if you are was it 12 and under, you're allowed to wear costumes during the day, but anyone older than that is not allowed except for during Not So Scary Halloween Party. Now, there are certain regulations and things that they ask you to follow. They don't want your costume touching the ground. You can't have anything that any props that appear to be weapon-like. There are certain stipulations you do have to follow. You can't have like a full face mask that covers you, safety concerns and things like that. But I love the costumes. The costumes that people come up with are absolutely insane. And it's also just so much fun to plan a costume together, right? So when we went as a family, we did a whole superhero group together. My husband did Iron Man, I did Black Widow, and then my kids were Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen, and it was so much fun. They had a blast in their costumes. We had so much fun walking around. People loved our theme that we had together. We had My kids had a blast, like, complimenting other people on their costumes and their choices, and it was just so fun to see all of the costumes for that night, um, inside of the park. You never knew who you were gonna see and what iterations of what costumes, and the creativity that all of our fellow Disney fans have is pretty unmatched. So, those are kind of my favorites. There's lots of great food, there's just the atmosphere is great, the trick or treating is super fun, but my favorites are really those ride overlays, and those shows, are pretty far up there. If it were me and I were doing the party just by myself without my family, I would probably do, um, the Boo to You parade both times. I would do the fireworks show. I would take advantage of all of those exclusive things that you can do during the party. And that's my best advice for anybody that's going. Prioritize the exclusive party things. Uh, I wouldn't spend a ton of time doing extra rides that you could do like during a normal day at Magic Kingdom. But the overlays and the exclusive characters, if you're a character person, don't miss the parade, don't miss the fireworks. It's just a really, really great event. So hopefully this gave you a good snapshot look at what is new for 2026 and just a few suggestions and tips as we went through this list. I hope that if you are visiting and going during Halloween and going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, that you have the absolute most not spooky season at Disney World. Magic Kingdom is so much fun during the any holiday that you're visiting. So I hope you have the absolute best time, and I hope this episode was helpful to you. Coming up next on Mom Street USA, we, I believe, are going back to the hub. So I'm not sure yet what we're going to be doing, but we will be visiting the hub with Duck and Jess on our next episode. So stay tuned for that. And as always, if you need help planning or need suggestions or guidance on an upcoming trip that you've got to Disney or Universal, you can always reach out to us, momstreetusa@gmail.com or at momstreetusa on various different social media platforms. We would absolutely love to hear from you. We would absolutely love to help you with your trip that is coming up. So I think that's it for this spooky season episode of Mom Street USA. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will catch you on the next episode. Bye, everyone.